Hi, welcome back to Corner Cupboard, and I was going through some old videos on there, and I happened to notice it's been quite a while since I've done a drop spindle video. That was a while ago, so I thought I would go ahead and do another one and update the video on how to do this. It's drop spinning. Spinning wheels can run you anywhere between $300 to $500 depending on the type of spinning wheel. Of course, my dream spinning wheel is an Ashford Kiwi. If you look those up, we're looking between $400 and $500. Although the spinning wheel I have does work sufficiently, it would be nice to have the flyer method as well to know how to do that too. My current spinning wheel is the Thrifty Fox. You can find the plans for that on Etsy. It'll run you about $15 for the plans. It's not a hard deal to make. It took my husband and I a day to make it. It uses a bicycle wheel, and it is a spindle type spinning wheel. So if you absolutely just have to have a spinning wheel, that would be your option. It should run you, if you buy new lumber and a new bicycle wheel, it'll run you about $100 to make it. You can use refurbished wood. An old bicycle wheel needs to be about 32-inch diameter wheel, and then you can set up a Thrifty Fox spinning wheel, and it will do exactly the same thing, just done on a spindle, which the spindle is actually a dowel. Until you can use a drop spindle. These you can pick up anywhere. They're on eBay, they're on Etsy. Basic ones you can spend about $5 on. You can get fancy ones. You can spend upwards of $50+ on a drop spindle. They all do the same thing. Just depends on how much money you have to invest and how you want it to look. My personal opinion is I need to be able to get this dirty. If it gets marker on it, it's not a big deal. If it gets sheep waste on it, it's not a big deal. You know, if my hands are dirty and it gets dirty, it's not a problem, because this is just plain old pine. My husband makes these for me. It's a piece of pine wood with a dowel and a hook, and he makes these for me. I probably have 6 or 7 in the drawer. This is a top drop spindle. I do have bottom drop spindles in my drawer. They're loaded with yarn right now. So anyway, the concept of the drop spindle is to do the exact same thing as a wheel, just on a smaller level. If you're not looking to mass produce wool yarn, then a drop spindle would be your option. To start doing drop spinning, I like to start with the starter string. Some people don't. I find this easier to deal with as far as getting started and getting a good flow on my wheel. So it's just a piece of string, however long you want it to be. There is no set way. And we're going to, there is our local craft room mascot, Mr. Nishwa, or Fizz Gig as we call him, from Dark Crystal Fizz Gig. Yeah, you'll have to excuse him. So you put this on the hook. That's your starter string. I'm trying to keep the cat out from the camera. Nope. So anyway, you hook this on the top hook, and that's what we're going to start spinning from. He is really trying to get in front. He's really trying to get in front of the camera. This is how we start with the drop spindle. Nope. Lay over there. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to use this. This is black colored merino roving. Now, I do my own roving. I color my own wool. I like to get dirty wool and clean it because it's cheaper in bulk. And then, yeah, it gets dirty and nasty, but I don't mind doing that for the less money. But there is a lady on eBay who is out in California, sells these for roughly about $3 for, I believe it's 4 ounces. So we're going to use this black. Now, I don't like dealing with this whole big long piece, so I do like to cut a section off. and I'm going to pull this into little strips like this. Now you don't have to do this. If you want to use the big bulk, you go right ahead. There is no right or wrong way to spin yarn. It is purely your call. Now with this, you're going to see how tiny these little fibers are. I like pulling a little out like this to get myself started, because I like to spin. I really do. Now on here, I like to keep my knot down here because I really don't want it to get wrapped up in this. So I'm going to take that little piece, I'm going to slip it in right here like this. Stretch this out. I really like this merino roving. It's really nice. And get a hold of it like that. Now to spin wool, you're best to go clockwise. Now of course, now hubby didn't get this exactly center, so it's going to wobble. It really doesn't matter. And what's going to happen is you're going to see your roving start twisting, and when you see that, start pulling it out just a bit like that. And it'll start to unwind if you're not careful. So you go clockwise, and you keep going and going and going. Keep your spin. The disc on the drop spindle actually gives you weight. And you can see this going through there and spinning and spinning. And when it stops, you just give it another twirl. And so you come up with this. Now, when you get all this, now see, I can't do much with this because, see, the puppy is now at my feet. We have a new 9-week-old puppy that was abandoned in the snow in Kentucky at 4 weeks old. Was left to die. And my sister found it. And she can't have any animals at her place, so we drove to Kentucky and picked up this puppy. So now the puppy's at my feet, so I have to be careful. So once you have this wrapped around your fingers like this, and you take your string off your hook, hook it on the bottom like this. Put it down here. Okay. Now I like to put my thumb on the string right here just to hold it and start wrapping. And you'll get to a point you can let go. And then you start turning this, and you start wrapping your spun area onto here. Now leave you some room, like right here. This is spun, this is not. So you want to come up over, come around your peg, and hook. And then start again. Turn your drop spindle clockwise. Now, if you make your own little drop spindle and you just don't happen to get that dowel center, don't fret about it. It'll still work. It'll just be a little whopper jaw, no big deal. So here again, I have all this spun wool. So I'm going to wrap it around like this. I'm going to take it off the hook, off of here, and I'm going to wrap it here. And as I'm wrapping it on the post, I'm going to let it come off my fingers. Now I'll leave you some space. Come over around the peg and get that hook. Now you can pull some of this out like this, and you start again. You can spin fast, you can spin slow, you can spin thick, you can spin thin, you can spin bulky, you can put a beehive in. It really is your call. If you're just starting with drop spinning, just get the hang of the drop spindle. Don't worry about all the fancy stuff. You'll get to that later. Big thing is scrap bin yarn right now, and that's fine. It's got its uses. Here again, see, we're too far. Because, see, I have a puppy at my feet. I can't let this down. So I'm going to wrap this around my fingers. Round. And I'm going to start wrapping this back on my post. And you keep doing this and doing this and doing this until you run out of wool to spin. In my case, that would be never, because I love to spin wool. I like making yarn. I like making weird stuff. I have some scrap bin yarn. I was making it and I was thinking it was going to be horrible, and I took it off my spinning wheel and I was quite impressed with how well it came out. I like it. I actually do like it. Okay, so you keep spinning. I'm trying to keep this away from the puppy. If puppy comes by, I'll show you. Here again, wrap around your hands. Get a hold of it, because you don't want to lose that spin. That's the whole point of keeping the tension on your wool string, is to not lose the spin you have on. Now, I'm done. I'm done with that little blob that I started with. And this is why I break mine in little pieces, because it gives me a little less to handle in my hand. And here's what you do. Here's the end of what I'm working on, and here's the new one. Now I'm going to lay these two pieces together like this. And I'm going to crisscross them over and hold them. Now I'm going to give it a little spin. And what's going to happen is the fibers of the old piece that I just got done with and the fibers of the new one are going to mix, and they're going to create a connection, and then you keep going. You know, this isn't a do it once and you've mastered. I've been using a drop spindle for almost a year, and there are still aspects of it that sometimes it just boggles my brain. What the heck did I do? But you can still do it. Here again, I'm ready to roll this up off the hook, unwrap it, and then wrap it around your pole. And you keep going and going and going until you have run out of your wool, or until your bottom stick is full. And then you can take that off. Now when you take that off, that'll be a whole nother one. That's a Indian bracelet, or you can go ahead and put it into a ball of single ply yarn and save it for later to blend it into another color yarn or another type of yarn. You make 2-ply, 4-ply, 6-ply. You can actually use 1-ply yarn as long as you spin it strong so it doesn't unravel itself. And then you'll have a lot of fun with that. Yeah, there it is, the drop spindle. If you need to stop, you know, fix dinner or something, wrap it around the hook several times. And then I like to take and put my wool up in the hook like this, so I know that this tension is not going to come off of the string. And I can put this back in my drawer, and I can pick it up next week and keep spinning. Actually, I have a basket in the TV room, and when we watch TV is usually when I spin, and I get a lot done watching TV. But there you go. So there's a fresh new video on a drop spindle. If you just can't, if it's not working for you, then, you know, drop us a line. We'll connect somehow. We'll get you another video, maybe something a little bit more detailed. Really, it's seriously a very calming, wonderful craft to do, and it'll save you tons of money on buying yarn, especially wool yarn, because then you can make your own. There you go. There again, we are on Facebook under Corner Cupboard. Our profile picture is a fence with birdhouses on it. You can't miss us. Send us a friend invite. It is crafty, it's DIY, it's recipes, it's no news, no politics. You'll not get not one of them on our site. Strictly stuff to craft, make your house better, turn your home into a castle. Come join us. There you go. Till next time.